Now, two American senators have risen to President Jacob Zuma, urging him to open up the South African market to American poultry products to avoid South Africa losing export benefits to the US, namely AGOA privileges. Now, the meet is currently being blocked over concerns about the outbreak of avian flu in the United States, which at the moment is the worst in that country. Senators Chris Coons and Johnny Isaacson, who represent major poultry-producing states, argue that it is in South Africa's best interests to act as the US administration was reviewing the country's eligibility to be part of the African Growth and Opportunity Act. Now, the US had reportedly asked South Africa to regionalize imports of US poultry and only ban poultry products from areas that are affected by avian flu. Now, last year under AGOA, South Africa was able to export $1.6 billion worth of goods into the US duty-free. Officials from both countries are meeting in Pretoria to try and resolve this latest chapter in this long-running dispute. Let's find out exactly what's going on. Angelo Coppola is live in Johannesburg. He's got more data on this story. Angelo, quite a few countries have imposed bans on US poultry imports, given that it has, at the moment, its worst ever avian flu outbreak. That includes China, Angola, even Cuba right next door. So why is South Africa getting exceptional treatment here?
Well, the bottom line here, Raman, is the fact that there's no signed agreement between the US and South African poultry manufacturing associations. You'll remember a couple of months ago there was a big hoo-ha. They were going to get together. They'd agreed that there were going to be compromise deals done between South Africa and what it could export and what they would allow the Americans to export. Now, they did meet, in fact, yesterday in Pretoria, and it seems like there is some movement in terms of going further and agreeing, firstly, to import the 65,000 tons of chicken parts that the Americans are trying to get into South Africa. And secondly, there's some discussion around the poultry, the avian flu issue there. But as it stands now, literally 3 minutes ago, we received a statement from government information services saying that the vets had met, they'd agreed that they were going to try and get this protocol signed between the two parties, and that seems to be at the core of the issue here between the two parties. Raman?
Indeed. Commentary in Washington, however, has kept on referring to what they refer to as the approach that South African officials have taken in talks. I mean, what exactly is it that's ticked off the Americans to this extent? Is this just the ban on health grounds, or is there something else at play here?
Well, as far as the South African Poultry Association head, Kevin Lovell, is concerned, and he spoke to us earlier, it's about two poultry issues. Firstly, it's about signing an agreement, as we've already discussed. And secondly, it's about the sanitary and phytosanitary issues, which are mainly focused around avian influenza and how to combat those and how to minimize any potential spread of that disease in South Africa. Lovell actually told us that this is a government-to-government matter and not a poultry association versus poultry association issue. And he believes that it will be resolved fairly quickly, but they also believe that the South African government is following the right international standards, so there's no issue on that front. Lovell is optimistic that this will get resolved in the near future, though. Raman?
Indeed, we'll leave it there for the time being. Thank you for the update. That's Angelo Coppola live in Johannesburg.